Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. BlizzCon is just a couple days away, and Blizzard has already promised that they're going to be revealing some pretty huge things for not just Overwatch, but all of the games that they make. Now, if you don't know what it is, BlizzCon is Blizzard's very own convention. Now, they send people to different conventions throughout the year, and they release, some stuff for different games. But BlizzCon is their thing. It's their convention, and it's where they announce all of the really, really giant reveals that they plan for the next year. Now, today, I'm going to talk about a bunch of potentially secret stuff that Blizzard has kind of already released that went under the radar for most people. Stuff that is very likely going to be announced at BlizzCon. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because I always got tons of great daily Overwatch content. So subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any of it. Now, the first and biggest thing is probably going to be a new character gets announced at BlizzCon. Now, I already made a video talking about all the potential characters that they could release, the abilities, and this and that, and all that other stuff. Jeff Kaplan did confirm that the next character, which is hero number 26, is fully playable on their internal servers. And that was a little while ago, so I fully expect that we are going to get an announcement for a new character at BlizzCon. So if you want to know more about the possible new hero, there'll be a link on screen and down below so you can go check it out after you're done watching this video. But in this one, I want to talk about the secret stuff that they've been putting right in front of our faces. Now, some people have noticed it, but I think most people haven't. And, as the saying goes, the best place to hide something is in plain sight. So what I'm talking about here is the addition of new items into the default pool of stuff that we get for the cosmetics. So skins, emotes, sprays, all that sort of stuff. Because right now, all of the new stuff that we get is attached to special events like the Halloween or Christmas or New Year's or whatever it happens to be, right? And you can only get that stuff for a limited amount of time. So I think at BlizzCon, they are going to announce that they're adding a lot more stuff that's going to be in the default pool, and that they're going to regularly increase the amount of stuff in that default pool. So you're not just going to have to be able to get new things at the event, you can get new stuff all year round. Now, why do I think this? Well, because like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that's been staring us right in the face. So the first big example of this new kind of stuff that they might be adding came in the BlizzCon trailer itself. Now, for BlizzCon, if you go there or if you buy a virtual ticket, they give you a whole bunch of stuff. But they tell you beforehand what you're going to get. So for Overwatch, you get a brand new Winston skin. Last year, it was a Bastion skin. But they tell you up front what all the stuff is that you're going to get. There's some stuff for Overwatch, for Hearthstone, for World of Warcraft, all the different games that Blizzard has. You can get some of these extra goodies for getting the virtual ticket. Now, I highly, highly doubt that they're going to add extra stuff into, like, the rewards for the virtual ticket after it starts. I really do not think they would ever do that. The whole point of them advertising this bonus stuff is to get people to buy the virtual ticket. So they're not going to wait and then add extra stuff later. It's just not going to happen. So what are we looking at right now? Well, this appears to be a brand new highlight intro for Winston. Now, if you have the chateau as your background when you're playing Overwatch, you go to the hero gallery and then you start checking out the different stuff. This is the exact location where all of those highlight intros are showed off. So that's what I'm showing you right now. This is the stuff that's currently in the game. So if you go to your hero gallery and you start checking it out, you'll see this stuff. Now compare this to what we saw in the trailer. It's the exact same location, but there's absolutely nothing in the game at all that looks even remotely close to this kind of like tumble roll effect thing that Winston is doing right now. That looks exactly like a new highlight intro would look like. But that's not where it ends, because it looks like there's a bunch of new victory poses that are hidden in plain sight with the announcements for the Overwatch League teams. So I'm going to show you a bunch of those. Like, these are basically going to be the promo images for the teams when they made their announcements. So the first one here is the Shanghai Dragons, and you can see Mei, and she's kind of leaning on her little robot buddy. Well, this is already in the game. This is what it is right here, so you can see that. Well, the next one is Diva for the Dynasty, and you can see that she's standing next to her mech. Again, this is already in the game. Lucio, same thing, already in the game. Genji, same thing, already in the game. And Doomfist, same thing, already in the game. Now we go to the next one, and this is Soldier 76. There isn't actually anything that exactly matches this in the game. It's pretty darn close though, so it might have just been like an idle animation or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but it's pretty close to what we already have in the game. Now for Winston, it looks like they basically took, rather than using his victory pose, which doesn't have the Tesla gun, instead they used one of his emotes, and they basically just screen grabbed it when the gun was present. But hang on, there's 3 more that, just like the little Winston roll animation, don't seem to match up with stuff that's currently in the game. So the first one here is going to be Mercy, and she's representing Team Valiant. And if you look through all of her different victory poses, nothing is even close. And then I went through all of her emotes and stuff as well, and again, there's nothing even close to what this pose is that we see on the promo image for the Los Angeles Valiant. So the next one is going to be Tracer representing the London Spitfire, and again, there's no victory poses and no emotes that are even close to what this promo image looks like. In fact, the only place where you can even see something where Tracer isn't wearing her goggles is in this victory pose where she's sitting down. For everything else, she's always wearing her goggles. Now, there is a particular emote. It's called the finger guns, and it's kind of close, but it's not really quite there. So again, this pose for Tracer is not currently in the game. And the last one is McCree, and this pose right here, which doesn't match with any of his existing victory poses or emotes. I went through the whole list, nothing is even close. But there is something that actually does match with this, and it's one of his current highlight intros, and it's the duel. So you'll notice that during the duel, at the end of it, he has the gun kind of pointed off to the side like that. And if you were to zoom this out, it would probably look exactly like the promo image for the Houston Outlaws. Now, this is something that Blizzard does do quite often, which is they'll make a victory pose that is basically just a still image of one of the character's emotes or one of their highlight intros. They basically just take a snapshot of it and they say, okay, this is now a victory pose. So it's very likely that this is one of the new victory poses. So looking at all this stuff, it seems like we have 3 new victory poses, one for Mercy, Tracer, and McCree, and then we have a new highlight intro for Winston, and none of this stuff is seasonally themed. So normally when you get like a new victory pose or highlight intro, whatever it happens to be, it's usually themed around whatever the event is. So if it's Halloween or Christmas or whatever, right? So, but these don't have any of those markers, none of those indicators. They seem to be just like regular kind of default sort of stuff. So that leads me to believe that Blizzard is going to be announcing the fact that they're going to be adding new non-event stuff that we're going to be able to get. Because that's one of the biggest complaints with the whole cosmetic system, is that the only time new stuff is added is during the event, and then you can only get it during the event, and after that, it's just gone. Now, there has been a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, Blizzard doesn't really add anything into the default loot box pool. And I think they're going to change that. And I think at BlizzCon, this is going to be one of the major things that they're going to announce, that they are going to be regularly increasing the default cosmetic list. So my expectations for BlizzCon announcements are going to be a new character, a ton of Overwatch League stuff, and the fact that they're going to be adding regular stuff into the default loot box pool. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links for that stuff are down below. Thanks for watching. Remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.